All right, welcome to class right now. I am wearing this outfit because I came down to Indiana to stay at my parents' house for what I thought would just be like a couple of weeks for quarantine, and then I haven't been back up to Michigan, and so I have like one shirt with me and my Harry Potter robe. About that, don't worry. So I asked my mom if I could borrow some clothes, and she pulled out this little number and said, "It's wait, where is it? It's Hogs and Kisses. Get it?" So, in case you're wondering where I come from, that. So here are the things that you need to know about this week. One, there's a whole bunch of stuff linked at the beginning of the week. Some of it is required, so make sure you do the things that are required, which is listen to me reading Fahrenheit 451 or read it yourself. Either one is totally fine. Notice that there are small chunks at the beginning of the week that I want you to listen to, whether you are actually a reader or listening to the videos. Whatever. But then there's also a lot of stuff that will help you down the road. So it's getting time for you to start thinking about the final project because it's worth a lot of points. And so you maybe have noticed by now that there is a description and also an example of that video that are on Moodle, and so I'll actually go over those in just a second, but I just want to make clear that you should start thinking about that. If you haven't started thinking about what you think like might be the main theme or lesson from the story, start doing that now, because you're going to want to start gathering specific details so that you can have those at the end of your project, because that's a big percentage of your grade. So just so you know, be thinking about that. If you have questions about the book, I've received some great ones, which I will again go over in just a second, but I also just want to know, I want you to know, you maybe have picked up on the fact that we're kind of following a pretty similar rhythm, and that's the way that this class is going to go for basically the rest of the semester. On Mondays and Wednesdays, or like 2 days of the week, I'm going to have you read, and that's pretty much all you'll have to do that day, besides maybe like watch some things and me explaining things. And then 2 on the other day, so like Tuesday, Friday, or Wednesday, Friday, however we space that out, you're going to be doing those responses. So basically like 4 days a week, 2 days are reading or listening, 2 days are responding. Reach out with any questions. So that is what you should know. Here are a couple of the questions that I want you to go over with, or that I want to go over with you, and then I'll talk about the project. Number 1, just so you're clear, like, the fourth wall thing is like literally a TV. Like, I've had a couple people ask, like, what is that talking about? So basically, if like you were in your room and like, so they only have 3 walls, but the rich people would have 4. So like every wall is a television, but it's all like part of the same thing. And so whenever Mildred is talking about her like family, that's like this soap opera that she's really into. And so rather than just like watching it, she's like immersed on basically all sides. So like 3 of the 4 walls, and she really wants that 4th wall. So she can basically forget about her life, because like she's just surrounded by it at all times. So the walls are literally giant, like, holographic TV screens. Number 2, a salamander is, I don't know, apparently has something to do with, there's certain kinds of salamander that can live in fire, so that's I don't know, that's why it's a salamander, as the symbol of the fireman. And also, yes, people are all idiots. We're not sure if love is a real thing. It doesn't seem like there are a lot of relationships that have love in them, right? Montag and his wife, I don't think love one another, although it's hard to say. Like friendships, whatever, like there doesn't seem to be a lot of like actual affection between people, and so it's just people who like their only joys in lives are thrill seeking, so like going really fast on the highway, or like torturing things, or like playing stupid games, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of like enjoyment in love and relationship. And so those were a couple questions that I got that I thought were good. So there it is. So now let us, also for real, if you have questions, reach out, because 1, it helps me know that you're actually reading, and 2, I miss human interaction, and 3, then I know that people have questions, and so we can talk about them. So there's that. Now let's talk about the project. So just so you are aware, everything that I am about to talk about is going to be, it's already linked here. Obviously the video isn't, but that will be whatever. If you are watching this video, you found that link. The project description is there, which is what I'm about to go over with, and then the example that I made, which I'll talk about as well in a second, is linked there tambien. Notice that I can make the deadline for Tuesday, just because I feel like if you're actually going to look at these things and think about them, ask me questions, and listen to the pages, that's a decent amount of time. that you will need. And so please, like, let me know if you need, honestly, even to push any of these due dates back. I'm super chill about due dates, so please reach out to me about that. So let's talk about the final project. Again, the example is linked at the top, so we find that if you need to. We'll talk about that in a second. Basically, we are reading this book because I want you to think about life, right? I think that Fahrenheit 451 is a book that is important, not just because it's a good story, but because it's a story that makes us think. And so basically, you are going to think. You're going to think about the flaws in human or in society, the truth about what it means to be human, the injustices, the strengths, whatever it is, that something bigger than just this is a fine story that you see in this story. So once you're done reading it, or as you're reading it, hopefully you're picking up on a theme or a topic or an idea or a question or a challenge that you think the author might have for us. So basically, you're just going to like think about one of these questions. You won't have time to do more than one, so think, like, what's the theme? What's a lesson? What does it mean to be human according to this book, both positively and negatively? So, like, there might be characters who you learn something really awesome from, and you say, you know what? This character shows me that people are brave and good and curious. But there might be other characters or groups of characters who you might say, you know what? These characters show me that people are selfish, or people are cowards, or people are apathetic, right? I think all of these things can be true at different times, and so you can choose to be positive or negative. But then I want you to talk about, or you could talk about, like, what did this book or what did that character teach about life or about yourself? So pick one specific character and say, like, from Montag, I learned this. From, I don't know, whoever else. From Millie, I learned this. And then what do you do with that knowledge? And then just deeper connections, whatever. Can you apply, like, how do you see similarities between Fahrenheit 451 and May 2020, you know? So clear, this is not a plot summary. I'm going to trust that you're actually reading or listening to most of the book. And I also want this project to be something that you couldn't find on, like, SparkNotes, right? I want you to think about your own life, so it's not a plot summary, it should be deeper than that. And then what you're going to do is you are going to try to be creative. You are not going to write, like, a whole essay about this. You are going to write a little bit, which we'll talk about in a second, but you're going to find something goofy and creative and nonsensical. What I did is, oh, here we go. I made a video. Oh my goodness, look at the cutest baby in the whole world. He's in the video a lot. I made a video where I rewrote the lyrics to the song Africa by Toto. And let me just say, this is the worst thing I've ever done in my entire life. It maybe was going to be good for a second, but then it's just not. It's just not. I'm just not musical, and so whatever, you can make fun of me. Please watch the video and then let me know your sickest burns about how bad it is. But so that's what I mean when I say creative, right? I don't need you to write me a whole long paper unless you really want to. What I want you to do is take what you think you've learned and turn it into something else, right? Something that you think. I think that song lyrics can be pretty powerful because you have to, like, narrow down what you're trying to say into such a short amount of time. Like, I think that poetry or songs are, like, a pretty awesome way to convey a real thing. So you can write a song, you can do art of some sort, you can paint, you can draw, you can sculpt something that portrays what it is you're trying to learn. It can literally be, like, I don't know, like a Pictionary type reenactment of what you think the theme is, or I know that some of you are very, like, artistic, and so things that are more abstract, like, make sense to you. So you could, paint a bunch of, like, dots and be like, this represents sorrow to me. Whatever, I'm not artistic or musical, which you will soon see. You can build something, you can do, like, costumes. If you think that, like, physical appearance is something that matters or is important, you can do that. You can do an original song, you can write a script about a scene that you think matters, you can do a movie theater, you can do a photography shoot, a scrapbook, a poem, the list goes on, and honestly, I am not creative enough to come up with all the ideas, so if you have other things, let me know what you come up with. So basically, you're going to pick an idea up here, and then you are going to represent that in a way that you find engaging or interesting or creative, right? And I for real want this to be something you enjoy. I enjoy being an idiot with my siblings, and so I made this song. I don't know if you can call it a song. You guys, it's so bad. This is the most embarrassing thing I've ever done in my entire life. So what you're gonna do, you should spend a solid chunk of time on it. I'll give you more and more time throughout the rest of the semester, but also I want you to know that like I intentionally have kept the reading days like fairly short. So like at no point are you going to read or listen to me reading to you for more than half an hour. So you should have like 15 minutes a day to like start thinking about this, or even at this point like literally just jotting down chapter numbers or page numbers. Oh, I'm starting to notice this thing. That's enough for now. So to start tracking your ideas now, I do expect specifics. You are then going to write an artist statement about like why you did it. So you're going to do like why you chose this project. You're going to talk about the deeper meaning, the specifics. You're definitely going to need quotes. This is probably the part where you're going to show me. You'll see in my example that it's like my video is like bad. My music video is bad. And so you will, this is the part where you'll be really serious and tell me about what you learned. I wrote one here that you can totally read over later, that just kind of talks through like why I chose the lyrics I did and then what I saw. You should also, if you can, talk about how you think Fahrenheit 451 fits at least one of these dystopian characteristics. We are going to keep working on these. You maybe have noticed that this week you're going to start writing and reflecting on those, and so we're going to come back to those over and over and over. So this one honestly should be very easy for you to do. One last thing, my example I did about the Hunger Games because I thought it was a book that most of you would have read or seen the movie of by now. You are doing yours, just to be clear, about Fahrenheit 451. I didn't want my example to like give anything away, and so there's that. I don't know. I chose a different book. You have to do yours by Fahrenheit 451. Here is the grade breakdown. The whole thing is 60 points. You get 15 points for creative effort. I bolded the word effort there because I want to be clear that your project, I mean, like your project should be good, but like, whatever. You're going to see when you watch this video that I made that it's the worst thing. Like, you've all seen me do dumb things. It's so bad. It's so bad. I like learned half the piano music and then like couldn't learn the other half, so I just stopped, and so half of it was just a cappella. It's so bad. But like I tried, and I legitimately, yeah, it's embarrassing. So I want you to try, right? And I want you to try something maybe that you love, or try something that's maybe new, or just try something that's fun. So like if I can tell that you put effort in, then you will get those points. If your drawing is terrible, that's okay as long as I can tell that you tried, or at least we're trying to be creative, right? I'm not an art teacher. I'm not a movie teacher, whatever that is. I don't know. You're going to get 15 points for like depth of thought. So like your project can be goofy, but there should be some element of reality. Maybe that's just like page numbers, or maybe it's like depth. I don't know. And then your written response should be deep and thoughtful as well. So this is not you just like giving me a summary or being like, I made this art, it was fun to make, right? Like go deeper than that in the book, and also when you engage in like real life, because no matter what you choose, you should talk about real life a little bit too. You're going to get 15 points just for specifics. So like, obviously, if you're listening, you don't know the page numbers of the book, so like rough page numbers, or even if you just say like, you know, between pages 55 and 71, or like on the day that we read on May 7, or whatever it is, or even like giving an actual quote, or you can Google things in 5-page numbers. So like, no, like I want specifics. I don't want you to just say like Montag shows me that people are good because he's good in the book. That's not good enough. You need to be more specific than that. And then your artist statement, just basic like grammar, the way that it flows, the way that you actually do it is just worth 15 points. Again, some of those things tie into that, but basically like the first and last 15 points should be pretty easy to get as long as you like write an artist statement, use spell check, try to be creative, try to be goofy. Feel free to engage other people. As you can see, I engaged my whole siblings in this, and also the cutest baby in the entire world is in it. Look at him. So you will get to see a lot of him. So that's the explanation. If you have made it thus far, I have a present for you, and it is, which one? This one. Oh my goodness, look how cute he is. I'm obsessed with that baby. Okay, anyway, I like you, and you're great, and let me know what questions you have. Oh, due date. I didn't say that, but it's on the thing. It's due May 28th, which is like the second last day of school, so you have tons of time for this, but I wanted you to be prepared. Email me with questions. Email me if you need human contact. I like you, I appreciate you, and I hope that you have a great day.